So did Midnight Madness cheat Drugz out of a victory versus True Foe? Let's talk about it.
Another one.
Battle Booth is half a gang on the low. He half a gang on the low. I'm Battle Booth gang, so y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is.
The Battle Booth. If you look him up, y'all go subscribe to his channel.
Man, you already know what it is. It's your boy Joe coming at you live and direct from the Battle Booth. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, man. Salute to all the supporters, all the subscribers, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Hey, let's get straight into this, right? Okay. There's been a few of us that have had things to say about Midnight Madness. Not necessarily negative, not necessarily positive, but some of us have been thinking about what Midnight Madness really is, you know what I'm saying? Who's really behind the scenes? What really is the purpose of Midnight Madness and blase blah. There's been some of us that have been looking at that type of thing. And I'm one of those people. I made a video, a blog, pretty much called Midnight Madness Exposed, where I go over, some of the reasons that the URL would be behind this, but wouldn't want us to know that they're behind this. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much the catch 22 here. You know what I'm saying? With this whole Midnight Madness thing, which is still something that I stand strongly on. Strongly. There's a lot of evidence out there that pretty much points to the fact that, bro, URL is definitely behind Midnight Madness. But that's not the point. You know what I'm saying right now? Drugz recently went up against True Foe, right? In these battles, when you battle in these battles, what technically is happening is you're pretty much gambling. You're betting as to whether or not, you can win, which means, there's going to be money on the floor, and whether or not you win or lose, you have to win in order to get this money that's on the floor, as well as get this belt, right? That is like some type of like trophy or whatever the case is, to where we're going to get into this later, but to now with that belt, you're kind of trapped into you're kind of being forced to have to battle again within a certain amount of time in order to even keep that belt. But that's something we're going to get to a little bit later. Drugz, one of my things with this whole Midnight Madness thing is that there's a lot of kinks, I believe, that are definitely going to be happening. There's a lot of mistakes, there's a lot of errors, there's a lot of things that are just not going to be straight and narrow. You know what I'm saying? Because this is something that was just, put together kind of like this month, to where there is no, at least not that we know of, there is no rule book, there is no nothing like that. There is no criteria, no expectations, just what's being said in the spaces as of right now. You know what I'm saying? Which then ends us up in a situation like this, where Drugz is here talking about the fact that he felt cheated kind of like by Midnight Madness because of the judging, right? Because of the fact that he reached out to True Foe on the phone. He tells us in this interview, which we're about to listen to real quick, just a short clip. He lets us know that he reaches out to True Foe so that they have an agreement kind of like on what the time frames are, or whatever the case is. But then when it came down to the battle, it turns out that True Foe didn't necessarily abide by those guidelines, or at least Drugz didn't feel like he followed the rules, I'm saying, that they set in place, which then in turn kind of gave True Foe the victory over Drugz. You know what I'm saying? 4-3. Apparently, Don Q was the judge who had the last vote, and it was 3-3 going to the last judge, which was Don Q, and Don Q gave it to True Foe because of it seemed as if though True Foe was rapping for longer and was saying more, right? And now Drugz is here talking about the fact that he feels cheated now because of the situation, because there were no specific time limits, because of this, because of that.
It's whatever. Like I always had a problem like listening to the time limit shit. But I figured because niggas was betting money that we would have to stick to the time limit.
So he said he figured that because they were betting money, we would have to stick to the time limits. And again, this is just one of the little tiny things that I thought about when Midnight Madness started coming up. Was like, whoa, wait a second, bro. This is not an established, I'm not gonna say league, because even Bill Collect and Sue Surf are considering it and calling it a movement, not necessarily a league, right? But this is not an established league. There are not established rules. There's nothing that is established, to be completely honest. And if I was Drugz going into a situation like that, I would have never taken that approach that Drugz took, which is called true fall and try to make sure that we're following some time limits. No, I'm going in there and I'm over rapping. I'm doing way more than you're gonna do, period. Because apparently this is a wild, wild west, you know what I'm saying? Where it's seeming like the same rules that apply to regular battle rap, right, aren't necessarily going to be applying in this situation. You know what I'm saying? So that's just one thing that, again, I pointed out when I made my when I'm talking about it. Is that, I mean, and again, this could simply just be right a situation to where, bro, this is the first event. You know, this is just the first event. You know, something that, you know, we have to look out for in the future. Or this could be, which I believe this is setting kind of like a precedent. I believe this is setting a precedence to where this is now there's gonna be a lot more mistakes like this that are gonna be made. You know what I'm saying? There are going to be those types of mistakes that are gonna be made, period. And again, it's simply because Midnight Madness is a brand new thing and it's not established yet. But either way,
Right.
Drugz feels cheated. And the thing about the Midnight Madness thing too, bro, is that a lot of people are not understanding is, bro, Drugz just came off of a victory over Luke Castro. This is what a negative effect of Midnight Madness can be for you, can do for you. This is a negative effect. I mentioned a lot of positives in my previous blogs, but this is a negative that I feel like is right now happening to Drugz. And this is why I don't think it's a good idea for some people to even be on this. Drugz just beat Luke Castro, bro. Drugz just beat Luke Castro. I believe it was in a super fight. Drugz was in probably the best position, right, as far as his battle rap status that he's been in a while. Just beat one of the, you know, one of the one of the cats that the URL's pushing. Luke Castro's been making a crazy name for himself all 2021. Drugz comes out of nowhere, gets him up out of here, bro. Then Drugz decides to, for some reason, right? Maybe because of he thought that maybe because he thought he was a shoo-in, right? Or maybe because he thought he would win money that was on the floor, right? Or the belt, he decides to take a battle on Midnight Madness to where now if you lose, it is a terrible look for you because you just lost to a true foe, right? But not only that, now you don't get anything on the back end either. And now your status is kind of shot, Drugz. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying this specifically. I'm saying this is in general. Like, this is one of the negative things that I feel like can happen to a battle rapper here, bro. Like, bro, like Drugz could have, right? If he chose, right, and if he was smart enough, right, and knew and understood how to carry his career, make moves, right, he probably would never have taken a battle with Truffaut, but instead waited, right, and somehow managed to negotiate a better battle than Lil Castro on URL at some point in time. But no, some of these battle rappers are going to be jumping the gun, bro, right? And be able to utilize some type of leverage at some point. No, just throw it away because you want to be on Midnight Madness for the chance to win 1,500, 3,000 and a belt. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of the negatives, bro, that I see coming from this, and it's already happening. Drugz, this just shot Drugz status down a little bit, bro. He just lost to True Foe, is what I'm saying. If people are not clear with what I'm saying, he just lost to True Foe, bro, in a judged battle. He lost a belt opportunity and money, bro. What they constantly talk about in the spaces is how when you win a Midnight Madness, is gonna shoot your status up, right? When you get this belt, is gonna make your status higher. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be more popular. The exact opposite happens though when you don't win, bro. And when you're in a situation that Drugz was in, for example, like just beating Luke Castro recently, and you do that to yourself, that is a terrible move. That is a terrible move to make, bro. And I'm just keeping it 1,000% real. That's why Midnight Madness will work for some people. For example, my boy Just Cuz. Just Cuz battled Hustle. Not Miss Hustle, Hustle. Just Cuz. Not many people knew these guys at all, bro. Not many people knew Just Cuz and Hustle. So for them, it makes perfect sense to accept these types of risks on Midnight Madness because you want to be known. You're going to get known regardless. They can't go down. They can only go up as far as being known, right? And getting that exposure. So for them, it'll make sense, bro. But bro, for a Drugz, for a Big T just lost to Luke Castro. You know what I'm saying? Like for these, bro, None just lost to Snake Eyes. Bro, like, there's just some things, bro. And they trying to put A-Ward up against it. Man, get up out of here. Beasley, what y'all do, man? Y'all stop offering A-Ward, none, man. Your boy just lost to Snake Eyes, bro. And this is what I mean, bro. This Midnight Madness is determining things already in the back, bro. It's already messing with people's, it's already determining people's status, like where they at now, blah, blah, blah. I don't think Drugz now is going to be able to move up from Luke Castro. Now I feel like he has to do something else to prove and get back up to where he was, right? And he just clearly beat Luke Castro too. It wasn't even just a debate. It was a clear victory for Drugz. Bro, if Drugz would have just rode that wave for a little bit, maybe his next bag or battle on the URL would have been a much better look, bro. But no, this is what I mean about this whole, people are just being gassed, right? People are just being gaslighted to believe that, oh, this is it, this is it, this is it. They want to jump on the bandwagon, get your ass smoked, and then that shit brings you right back down here in the rankings, bro. Come on, bro. And this is just one of the things that I feel like I knew that, was going to be happening with Midnight Madness, bro, is that people not understanding their worth, their value, and just going up in here and just risking it all, bro. Just throwing it all away. Just throwing it all away. All that value that you built last year, all that momentum you built last year, gone now because you decided to take a sneaky battle on Midnight Madness where you lost, so you didn't even get a back end, you didn't get no deposit, you got nothing, and you didn't get no belt. Like that kind of bothers me a little bit, bro, because I feel like some battle rappers are just gonna be kind of like duped into doing this, bro. Kind of be like tricked into doing this, you know what I'm saying? Because it's Sue Surf is telling them to, and this and that, and people are gonna say that people are ducking, right? If you don't accept a challenge from a nobody, then all of a sudden you're going to be ducking and blah, blah, blah. Bro, it's just going to be a mess. But there have been some good things that came from it, though. Like, for example, the Prestavia situation and Yoshi battle. For them, getting from Midnight Madness card to Queens Get the Money, you know what I'm saying? Remy Ma, 5 figures, getting on Hot 97 for the stream. Bro, I just feel like when it comes to this whole Midnight Madness thing, bro, the individual battle rapper really, really, really needs to think about the choices that they make when it comes to what they're going to do or what they're doing, or the decisions they're choosing to make when it comes to their battle rap careers, bro. Like, it really comes down to what the decision you make. Now, one more point of contention that I have, right, with this whole Midnight Madness situation is the belts. Are the belts, bruh. I have an issue with the way that the belt situation is working out right now, with what they're trying to make the belt holders, the winners of battles, do. I have an issue with it. Okay, here's what they're doing. Here's what's gonna happen, right? Okay. Luke Castro just beat Big T, right? That's actually a pretty good win. That's actually a pretty dope win, if you ask me. Like, a win over Big T is pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? That's a pretty good accomplishment, whatever the case is. Sue Surf has been selling this idea, this story, right? This narrative that when and if you win a belt, you would be able to use this belt, like utilize it as like a form of an accomplishment or something, right? Like, it gives you more status. It means something, right? Oh, this guy has a belt. He's the underdog. It means something, right? This is what they're trying to, how he's been trying to sell it. Like, it means something, right? When you have this belt, you're somebody. Like, now you have to, like, people now have to challenge you to take your belt and blah, 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 right? And you get to control what happens now. You can get booked here. You can get booked on KOTD. You know, you can do this, you can do that, because now you have a belt, right? And that means that you're a winner of some kind and you have some type of status, right? Just recently, I learned that if you win a belt, right? It's a new rule too. This is not a rule that was made when the belts were made. This is new. When you win a belt, you don't actually, like any others, like any fighting sport, wrestling, so you don't actually hold on to this belt until you lose it. Like, it's the normal way of doing it, right? No. You win this belt and you have to battle somebody else within about 60 days. In order for you to maintain this belt. The reason I have an issue with that is because if that's the case, bro, we're kind of forcing these champions to continue battling on Midnight Madness's time, as opposed to the winner of these battles choosing what they do with that status and that accomplishment as opposed to that battler choosing to try and get a battle booked somewhere else like KOTD or something, using that accomplishment. No, no. You have a certain amount of time before you have to battle again in order to keep that belt, bro. So this keeps the winner, right? Whoever has the belt in a cycle of continuously battling, right? But on top of that, don't forget that when you battle on Midnight Madness, if you don't win, you don't get anything. So it's like you're putting yourself in a position, or Midnight Madness is forcing belt winners to put themselves in a position where they can lose this belt immediately after they get it, putting them in a position where they can't even use the belt as leverage to try and get one of these battles booked that Sue Surf was saying you could with these belts, right? A battle maybe on KOTD or a battle over here or something. You don't even have enough time to use your accomplishment, your belt, your trophy to try and book something anywhere else. No, you're going to be forced to have to battle again, almost immediately on Midnight Madness again, bro. Again, this kind of bothers me a little bit because, bro, you got names like Lou Castro, you got names like Shuni the Rapper, you got names like Snake Eyes, you got names like Drugz, you got some names on here where these battles are worth something, right? To where these battles are worth something. Now, whether or not the actual battle rapper understands or realizes that, bro, is one thing. But, bro, like, for me, it's like, bro, if Midnight Madness is going to be able to get a bunch of free battles out of these people like that, bro, simply because they're under the impression that they have to defend their belt in 60 days, or because it's this, bro, bro, you know, just recently, the game put up a tweet. I think it was a tweet or something like that. And the game was letting it be known that he's never dealt or liked. I forgot if it was Atlantic Records, or I forgot which record company he said it was, but he's pretty much saying that he's never rocked with them and blah 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 because all they are is a slave ship that steals from every single individual artist. The game. I'm gonna put the tweet up here. The game is letting us know he's never messed with. I think he said Atlantic, or it's one of those labels, one of those big labels, because they literally run a slave ship to where they steal from everybody. They steal from everybody. I'm almost feeling like if that's the case with Midnight Madness, bro, it almost seems like the same type of thing. It almost seems like the same type of thing to where they're getting free battles, you know what I'm saying, out of battle rappers. You know what I'm saying? Battle rappers don't understand. They don't really get it yet. They're kind of still being sold on the Midnight Madness thing, you know, going bowling and, you know, and the potential to possibly win something, you know what I mean, and blah, blah, blah. But this reminds me of that a lot, bro. It really does. It really does. And I mean, the fact that URL hasn't released any announcements, right? Like the URL hasn't said anything yet, you know what I'm saying, since last year about what's going to be happening as far as cards go and things like that go, you know what I'm saying? The last announcement that they made was the Cassidy versus Freeway, you know what I'm saying? The Tay Rock and Danny Myers super fight was the last announcement they made last year, but since then we haven't heard a peep. And I'm willing to put a lot of money, bro, on the fact that it's because URL is behind this Midnight Madness thing, bro. And the URL is trying to also push this in the background to see how this goes. It's one of the reasons why there isn't much going on right now with the URL at all, is because this is where their focus is at right now. We're trying to figure out how well or how much we can push this Midnight Madness thing as the URL, bro. I know some people are not gonna, but it's cool. People don't have to believe me. I'm not sitting here trying to convince. I know that that's the case. I know that that's the case, bro. I know URL's behind this movement, like, you know what I'm saying, paying mad close attention, like, what's happening, Sean? We got what's going on here, Sean? What's up? You know what I mean? Like, It's just what it is, man. Those are just my thoughts so far, though, on Midnight Madness, man. Let me know what y'all think. You already know what it is. It's your boy Joe coming at you live and direct from the battle.